With me in the studio is a woman who's been very successful in the city. Louise Cooper is a financial analyst and commentator and a mother. And is champing at the bit to discuss Nigel's comments. But first of all, Nigel, you said that... Well,
just get the ground rules here clear. If you're a television presenter, right, you can have a baby, and you can have a baby and come back, no problem. If you're a dentist, you can go. If you're a financial markets analyst, you can take time off and come back. If you're working on a brokerage desk, right, which I did for many, many years, I would not even take a fortnight's holiday because that was too long to be away from those accounts. So I was being very, very specific.
Except you said there was no sexual discrimination, you believed, against women in city firms.
Well, city firms...
What do you base that on?
City firms are far more hard-nosed and look at the bottom line. And I do not believe the reason women are paid less in the city is because we have gross discrimination.
Louise?
You know, I try hard not to lose my temper on air, and I really try hard not to insult people on air.
Don't hold back.
But I'm sorry, Mr Farage, for you, I'm going to make an exception. Because what you are saying is laughable.
Is it?
You are talking out of your bottom.
So why are women paid less then?
Let Louise put the case.
And for all the working mothers out there who are battling day to day, and I know lots of them in the city, but not just in the city, but elsewhere as well, who are discriminated against, who are paid less than their male colleagues, who are looked over for promotion, I say on behalf of them, shame on you. And I say double shame on you because you actually have daughters. What kind of example are you setting to your daughters by saying what you said?
So are you saying that the banks and brokerage houses in the City of London are openly and clearly discriminating against women today?
Openly and clearly is difficult, but they are discriminatory. The point you make about maternity leave, OK? You say the word maternity leave, women go away for 2 or 3 years. I had a child, I had 4 months maternity leave. You know, the maximum you can take is 12. So why this, women go away for 3 years? So that's the first comment, maternity leave.
Yep.
Gardening leave. OK, so let me just explain what gardening leave. In the city, if you leave your firm, you can't start to work anywhere else for at least 3 months, very minimum. Most firms have 6, 12, 18 months of gardening leave, OK? So that costs the firm, because you leave on day one with your black bean bag, that costs the firm that you were hired with, and the new firm are willing to wait 6, 12, 18 months for you to turn up. So if it was so important for you to be there every second of the day and not have 3 months maternity leave, why does the whole city run on the let's poach other staff? Because clearly, and even more in the brokerage industry, there is a lot of gardening leave, and people and brokerage firms are willing to pay many millions to guarantee someone who will arrive in 6, 12, 18 months' time, which is far longer than maternity leave. So don't give me maternity leave. I say gardening leave back to you. And no one talks about that for discrimination against men.
Well, the reason gardening leave was put in place is because people know that actually any time away from accounts brings in and increases the level of risk. So that's the very reason gardening leave was introduced. Look, when I ran a brokerage company, I had a guy came to me one morning and said, Nigel, I'm resigning. I'm going to do the childcare at home because my wife's got a better job than me. And there are now 1 million men who are at home bringing up children. I'm making a general point that in a fiercely competitive world like the brokerage end of it, that women are disadvantaged if they have children. Now, that is a simple statement of fact. So
there is discrimination against women who have children. That's what you're saying. In the city, they are discriminated
I'm making the point that lifestyle choice of having a family makes it harder. It doesn't make it impossible, and there are some people that manage it, but that, I think, explains why women are paid less. Okay. I do not accept that the City of London now discriminates heavily against women.
I don't
accept that. No, I don't accept that at all.
Right, you're saying women who have families are discriminated against. Women who decide to have children are discriminated against in the city.
They're not discriminated against. In a bottom-line business, they make it harder for themselves. It's simply a statement of fact.
Well, except Louise isn't the only person who's been screaming.
I know.
Ruby McGregor-Smith, Chief Executive of Mai Tai, Anne Richards, Chief Investment Officer of Aberdeen Asset Management, Lindsay Ricks, MD of Santander Wealth Management. They all have children. They're at the top of their game.
It can be done.
There aren't many. They're discriminated against.
So Janet Yellen became boss of the Federal Reserve, possibly the most powerful job. She's got kids. When she became head of the Federal Reserve, I wrote a piece about it and said, these are, in my view, the 10 most influential financial women in the world.
I read that.
8 of them have kids. It is laughable. You know, one of them is the head of one of the most successful hedge fund businesses in the world. Hedge funds do their, spend 20 hours a day at work. One was private equity. One was, Reinhardt and Rogoff. One of those is women.
Christine Lagarde.
Christine Lagarde at the IMF. It is laughable that because a person has a womb, they can't do a job.
To their companies?
We have to make a decision here, don't we? You know, women are paid 30% less than men in the city. Why is that? And I'm suggesting it's because they make different lifestyle choices. And whilst there are some women who want to have families...
Is that right, though, Nigel? Is that right?
Yes, it may not be right.
It may not be right,
but it is the way the world is. A lot of women, some women are happy to have a family and a big job, but it's a hell of a difficult thing for them to do. So if I'm wrong, then we do have gross discrimination in the city.
I have an alternative view of the reason why women are paid 30% less in the city is because you play deliberately to all the sexist bosses out there and allow and cause this very problem. You have made the situation worse. For all the working mothers, not just in the city, you have made the situation worse.
Can I put you, are women worth less in your party if they have children?
No, because they're not. Listen, I repeat, I was talking about a dealing room environment in the brokerage business, a very specific audience, not about professional women in general.
You can see how it's fueled the argument, can't you?
I can, because people deliberately choose to have a row over it. I was being factual.
It's been demonstrated that it isn't factual.
I would not take a fortnight off when I was doing that job. No more than a week.
One thing I will say
to
you, Louise, about women in the city, they earn, relative to many other industries, a lot of money. They can afford to pay for that childcare without losing the majority of their salary. I put to you, in general, that can be a big problem.
Well, exactly, and that is, so, again, when I said shame on you, Mr Farage, I say shame on you for all the daughters out there who are trying for a career in the future, and for all the women who want to work, but because childcare is so damned expensive in this country, cannot work, but want to, you're making their situation worse.
I'm not talking about 99% of the jobs market in this country. I was talking about one specific area.